our leadership, by a slim majority in the boardroom,
stay close to the mic,
is deciding to be non-committal, and they've decided to do nothing. You know, rather than send a ballot out giving us a choice of voting yes or no on the contract, which is the last best final offer, they've decided to send nothing and to let the clock run out. And then that would leave us in a position where probably the employers would try to impose that offer upon us. And then what would happen? Would those jobs be signatory to the guild, or would they be non-union jobs? You know, so the point is, in the meantime, why would we agree to give them anything? We have, I would say, thousands of SAG contracts that have terms, benefits, compensation that's 10 times better than what AFTRA has accepted, and 10 times better than what we're being offered. And the whole motive here is to force us into a merger with AFTRA on their terms and conditions, which eliminate residuals, which would destroy our pension and health fund. So I say if we've got one SAG contract left that is the best contract available to actors anywhere, why would we ever want to give it up? I mean, worst case is they would force us to work more of the jobs under AFTRA if we wanted to work at all, but as long as you've got one SAG contract left, there should be 120,000 people out here protecting that one contract. Vote no. Keep voting no. Never accept what they're offering us. And in the meantime, we're starting to educate more people. It's not a question of how many people are here or who are not here. I'm seeing on all networks of the web, Facebook, LinkedIn, Weigh-In, Plaxco, YouTube, and all of the Rico's website, all of the individual websites. More people are arguing about what's going on here, and people's opinions are being changed. I know, like David Glennon, people's opinions that were going one way for a very long time have gotten more information, and they're starting to change their opinion. So we just have to keep showing up. We have,
question for you. What recourse does the membership have if David White and the national board majority sit on this contract until the clock runs out? Do we have any legal...
I think what we need to do right now is what Scott Wilson tried to do over a year ago, and that is probably now to get an official petition that would require approximately 10,000 names, 12,000 names, that would force a referendum that they would have to send to the membership asking them to choose which union they want to represent them as their collective bargaining agent, SAG or AFTRA. Everybody, we assume, would choose SAG. Now once you commit to it, it's only your loyalty and your dedication to stay true to that as it is now. You could work non-union, you could become financial core, but people don't do it. They protect the contract they've got. So if we vote to recognize SAG as the collective bargaining agent for all of us as members, we've made that declaration. Now, how are they going to force us into a merger? When we've done that. Now, we've got time to do this, and I think this is what we've got to do now. I think we've got to start this petition.
Now,
wouldn't you think so?
Will that have legal force?
Yes. Constitutionally, if they elected not to grant us that, they would be in breach of our Constitution, in which case we have a legal claim that would force them to honor the Constitution.
One more question. What if they keep sitting on the contract? Do we have a legal or constitutional resource if they try to let the 60 days expire?
I think they would. However, they can say, well, we're waiting until we have a better time and we're negotiating commercials. We'll wait till a better time, and then they wait it out, and then they give the employers the opportunity to impose their terms on us. Then we say, what is your legal right for being able to give them signatory status as a union production? I think that's actionable. I don't see what legal means by which they could give our jurisdiction away.
Is there anything we should be doing individually, privately, legally, in the courts?
I think more than what is happening legally or what's happening in a court of public opinion or in legislation is what we do out here, because this is having more of an effect than all of those other things that just sort of get lost in the wind somehow. You know, they end up in the courts for the next 5 years. So how much damage is done while that's going? We need to do that too, but don't depend on it. What were you going to say, Scott?
I don't remember.
Oh, I thought you were.
I want to.
Yeah.
If when you're take your time, but when you're finished, I want to hear from Peggy Miley, who is another board member who's been working for us for many years.
The thing I want to say is I can't get my head wrapped around the idea of why any members would be opposed to what we're doing. I don't understand it. Why would we want to give up what we have? What would be the point of that? So it's up to us to go out and proselytize. Ignorance, yeah.
I think that the membership needs to know something. After members need to keep the dues current so they can vote on these. When we do get this opportunity to transfer.
Well, I'll let you go through that, but we need to keep it simple here and just vote no. You know, and get other people to understand why we're voting no. If we get the vote, if we get the vote, if we don't get the vote, we don't accept those terms, and we educate more people to understand why they're unacceptable. Peggy, what? You have a go at it.
Hey, listen, I just want to say, this is so important. Okay, squeeze the button.
Oh!
There we go.
What's really important is that we are all here. How many members are we here in SAG? In Hollywood?
70,000.
70,000? 70,000? We may be 70 people. We should have at least 700. We should have enough people on each of these picket lines to make a policeman have to show up to direct traffic.
Yeah.
We don't want to do anything criminal. Please don't misunderstand me. But that there'd have to be traffic control, because there'd be so many of us that they wouldn't get out to get their lunch, the producers, over at the fancy places. And that's what we need. It's numbers out here. Numbers. And we have the best leaders in Tom Bauer and Scott Wilson. God bless them. They're doing a wonderful job. And it's very, very important that we support them. Ask 10 people. Go home and call them. Don't send the email. Call them. Or if you can confront them by face. But you can't come to, why can't you come for next Wednesday? Well, you had an appointment at 11 in the morning. Well, listen, we're there till 2. I'll see you around 12:30 then. You know, kind of push them a little bit, because this is going to change your lives. This is what unions are all about. My father knew that when he was an immigrant, and he fought to get subway workers a little bit of health benefits. Thank you.
Thank you. Uncle!